Welcome to Journey Through the Gate, Paranormal Portal Podcast, as we delve into the many questions and wonders brought on by the supernatural experience. What's on the other side of the gate? Let's find out together. My goodness, it's going to be a night. There he is, my friend. Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on? I think we were already on there a couple of times. I was putting an after dinner mint in my mouth once, and I'm like looking startled.
I'm already going.
What's on the other side of the gate? You're about to F around and find out.
I haven't left 15 minutes. I'm so sorry. It's my fault we're late. I was
I was here early this time, even sort of.
Yeah,
kinda.
yeah, he was. This was not Steve's fault. It was totally my fault. Hello, all you beautiful, beautiful people. All our gatekeepers are here. All our Black Ops mods ready to bake those shut the fuck up cakes for anybody who jumps in here and tries to mess up our groove, right, babies? It's going to be fun tonight, I'll tell you. So
It's
many
fun
good
every
things.
night.
Oh my gosh, so many good things today. I'm just giddy. What's that?
Schoolgirl?
Yeah, there you go. That's been a long time. Oh my goodness. Let's not go there. Okay. So.
I think Cisco's been to the dispensary.
No, I'm really happy. And I'm watching this 1970s. I'm going to tell you the truth. Last night I got off of here. We had a great Bermuda Triangle. Was that you, Steve, that popped in with a new icon? Did you pop in and say hi, or is somebody using your name?
I came in as Steve Stockton.
Okay. Because I just wanted to be sure somebody wasn't. That's number one.
I've got Steve Stockton. I've got a 13 Past Midnight, and then I've got Missing Persons and Mysteries.
Some other incognito that we won't speak of here. But anyway, like I said, it was fun last night.
That was a good show.
Oh gosh!
I didn't see the whole thing, but I caught a lot of it. I love those old 70s documentaries. They just have a look and feel to that.
Well, you're going to get your doggone fill of them tonight, my friend.
You can't find anything like that these days. Everything's so digital and so crisp and clear, but it looks so much more authentic to me when it's done in that old style, kind of a faded look, kind of reminds you when you were a kid, and you watch a film in school and you hear that projector,
It's like hearing the needle hit an album, like you're there, and you're in your space, and you finally get to unwind and listen to your jam, and that needle hits, that just you can hear the record start, and oh gosh, there's absolutely a lot to be said for nostalgia. We're hitting that again tonight because I'm telling you guys, I have found a treasure trove. I have been digging. So Steve started this whole thing with Telly Savalas.
Blame me.
It was absolutely organic, because I started digging around. That's when I found Extraordinary, and then I started digging. Well, you guys know the story. You've been here for it, right?
Hey, Monica Device, good to see you.
Hello, everybody. Let's say hi. Yeah. Hey, Be Kind. Hey, Donnie. Great show last night. Thank you for all your wonderful research.
I was in the chat earlier, howdying with folks, but I think
Where's
there's some
you?
more. Come in. Vixen Doe's
There's
here.
Lindsay.
Sean G, Sasha Bell, Carol XO,
Grey Wolf. Lindsay's in
Donnie
here.
Cho, Master Cho.
Master Cho. Oh.
I believe Donnie was smoking that Buddha last night.
He could have been. He was on fire. In all honesty,
well, he kept turning his camera off to smoke, so I figured he was smoking. he was bogarting it. He had something he didn't want to share there. So
I think I said
Grey
maybe
Wolf's here, Maraid.
Was it like 10 a.m., Donnie?
Linda
I
Anderson.
said, hey, you want to come on and do Bermuda Triangle? Not anything specific, just the whole damn triangle. What does Cho do? He doesn't only do the Bermuda Triangle. He goes over and does the Devil's Triangle. Find out it's completely the opposite. You drive a stake right through it and pierce both of them right down the center.
There's so many. There's one in Alaska. There's one in Nevada.
So
there's the Bennington Triangle, and there's another one in New England. I can't think of it. Anyway, there's a lot of triangles up there around.
Well, it was trippy dippy anyway. We had a blast. I learned some things. We had some profound moments, some fun moments, but
some profane moments.
Yeah. And insane moments. Donnie said something last night kind of sparked me. He said that he thought Bermuda Triangle, it's really the whole paranormal, honestly, that is so easily, just explained away. It's weather. It's a weather balloon. It's your imagination, mass hypnosis,
swamp
things,
gas,
drugs, swamp gas. It's so many. You're just plain nuts, And I'm wondering what it is. If I'm thinking it's all connected, so if it's all connected, what's the big secret that connects them all that we're not supposed to know about? Inquiring minds want to know. So I'm digging through this old Bermuda Triangle, because we did that famous one. Now I can't remember the name of it, but you know the book I mean. That
Chris Jarvis, that's it. The Bridgewater Triangle. That's the other one I was trying to think of.
There you go. And sparked that, pulled up that gem, which was an absolutely fantastic document. It was a movie. It came in right around the time Chariots of the Gods with
Eric Von Daniken.
Yeah. And I remember seeing that one in the theater. We couldn't go to all of them, but I saw this one on TV when I was a kid. And all this stuff started popping up. It's like I unleashed some kind of 1970s documentary of the weird and wonderful, just starts being recommended. And said, would you like to watch this? Yes, I would. Thank you very much. And then I recorded it and spliced it up and put it together in chunks and information.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If somebody's showing them here on YouTube, then they're okay for you to take and show, or
right.
Mix and match, chop them up, however.
Absolutely. But that's the sad part, Steve. It's sad because nobody even cared enough to save these things and put them in a gift set or a DVD collection.
Yeah, I was surprised. Like In Search Of, I've got that one. I think it's like 147 episodes or something. I've got the box set. It's got all of them on there. But that's the only one of those older shows like that I know of that have been preserved.
Right,
and it
right.
is sad,
and some of those are still on there. So,
and even those old movies, I know they're out of VHS. I used to see them when I worked in a video store back in the 80s.
Boy, they looked good too, didn't
I don't think they're out on DVD or Blu-ray or any of that, like In Search of Ancient Astronauts or Chariot of the Gods or all that. Eric Von Daniken, and there was another guy that was doing books about that time. And then who was it? Berlitz that started doing the triangle.
That's the one we did
Charles
last
Berlitz.
night. Yep. Remember getting that book? And it just seems like it's popping up. Even Laura, I told the story last night that she got a group of books, and Yankee Ghost from Hans Holzer was it. She didn't even know. And I said, she opened it up so I could read the things. I'm still looking for that story about that soldier that got kicked to death, and Ethel Myers couldn't. It took Hans a long time to understand what they were saying, because they had found this soldier hiding, the opposite side. I can't remember who it was, but they found him, and they beat him to death because he, like a prisoner of war, whatever.
There was one I read as a kid in a book of ghost stories. I've never been able to find it again. It was a story about a Civil War soldier. And he was staying in like just somebody's house. They did that sometimes. They stayed wherever they could get. Yep. Well, every night, this ghost of a woman kept coming to him, and I don't think she talked, but she just made movements like, "You've got to leave." And finally, after the third visitation, the third night, he got up and moved to another part of the house. And then, sure enough, the next night, a cannonball went through the wall there and smashed where he was sleeping. And said if he'd stayed there, he would have been killed most likely. But it was in a book of ghost stories, and I had that when I was like 6 or 7 years old.
Sounds
Cannot
familiar.
remember what it was. I've never seen it again.
Be on the lookout.
Or since in any other books. But if anybody has a ghost story book with that particular story in it, let me know the title.
There
please.
You go. And that was weird because Laura, I was pretty sure it was either in Yankee Ghost or it was Ghosts I've Met. And I have Ghosts I've Met and I haven't come across it. So unless I missed it, But still, we find those things because, like you and I have said all the time, we're connected to them. We hung on to them like they were gold. I mean, how many times we look at the same ghost picture in a book and you're just as happy to see it.
And I had comic books and stuff too.
Yep.
But there were comic books that had true ghost stories in them. They had like the Boris Karloff's True Tales of the Haunted. They had
I remember
Rod
those.
Serling did like a Twilight Zone ghost stories and things. So there were true ghost stories in comic books.
And I think
I was more into like Fate magazine. That was my Bible when I was a kid. All the other kids are reading Superman, Batman. I'm reading Fate. It was a little digest size back then.
Did you
I
see
love
the
those
covers
old
that I
covers.
put on?
They were something else.
The ones I had on last night, did you see the covers? I did some Fate magazine covers from the late 40s, I think it's barely the 50s, and then all the way through that we're talking about Bermuda Triangle. And I'm thinking all of these decades we're still telling the stories, and nobody believes the people that are saying them. Hundreds and hundreds of people telling not just the Bermuda Triangle, but ghost stories. I just don't get it.
I have a good Bermuda Triangle story.
Oh, well, you tell it. I'm going to see if I can catch up with the chat.
A friend of mine, a girl that I went to elementary school with, her father was from Peru and her mother was from New York, or her mother had gone to Peru, I think on a church mission or something like that. She met this girl's father. They fell in love. They got married. And then they took a boat from Peru or somewhere in South America back to New York. Well, my friend was actually conceived in the Bermuda Triangle. And it made her really strange. And one day she disappeared and took a lot of my stuff with her. It's a mystery. She was when I lived in inner southeast Portland. She wanted to come and visit for a couple of weeks and ended up staying like 3 months. And then I woke up one morning and all my camping gear, a couple of rifles, and gone.
Oh, man, I've had that happen.
She did leave a TV behind. She'd bought a TV. I mean, who comes to stay for a couple of weeks and buys a big TV? Should have known something was up.
Yeah, that's a red flag right there. I had a similar thing happen, but as my spirit guides must have been happy with me, 3 years later, I walked into the person who did it to me in a bar. End of story. Of course, I went home and nothing happened. So I'm not sure on the statute of limitations on that one. I'm only joking, folks. We had a long discussion. Let's just put it that way.
I think she disappeared somewhere into Arizona. Maybe UFO got her. I hope so.
Well, be careful. She doesn't materialize in your closet one night when you're least expecting it or something.
No, she doesn't know where I'm at now. So.
Well, welcome all you gatekeepers, and as you can see, we're just raring to go. I'm hopped up on sugar and good news, and I'm just in a great mood today. I hope it comes through, and you guys get some laughs. And Steve, we're just gonna have a good old time. I wanted to, again, last minute. Steve and I are working on some app hoarding stuff, and I'm definitely in that and getting it all. But this popped up, and I could not resist it because I'm looking through it to see if it had any good information to share with you guys. Because I'm thinking, what's new and exciting on Bigfoot? And then I thought, I'm thinking about it wrong. What's old and exciting about Bigfoot? What did we know 50 years ago? So I called it Bigfoot in Sepia. Because when I'm looking at these, and I don't know anything about film, but boy, I can recognize it when it's that old reel-to-reel stuff, and it's got that feel like you were saying in the beginning, Steve, and you go back, and again, I feel bad that nobody's paid attention to these documentaries. They were absolutely just an explosion of them in the 70s, right, Steve?
Oh, yeah.
We had some damn good ones.
There was some really good stuff. I remember one time one of those, like, Call of Bigfoot or something like that, and this one, you probably remember it. Their whole deal, their marketing approach was it had actual Bigfoot sounds recorded in the movie. The rest of it, it was just a crappy movie.
Right.
But then toward the end, these people were out in the woods and they're hearing this, and it was supposed to really be Bigfoot.
Wow.
Well, my friend and I, we snuck a reel-to-reel tape recorder. Remember the little ones that you had?
Yeah.
This was prior to me owning a cassette recorder. We snuck a little reel-to-reel into the theater and recorded that. And initially, it was for, scientific research. We were going to see if we could attract a Bigfoot to the area where we lived out in the woods. Well, it wasn't very loud on that reel-to-reel. So I borrowed my brother's guitar amplifier and a cord, and then my dad had like 100-foot drop cord. So we got out in the woods, and there was some hippie guys that lived up the street from where I was living at the time. Every Sunday they would get out there and play volleyball in their side yard. So we're in the woods with a reel-to-reel recorder and this half of a Marshall stack, that we'd wagged out into the woods. Plugged that thing up, cranked every dial up to 10 and let it roll. You should have seen those guys. The volleyball game came to a halt. What the F was that? They're looking around. They're running. They're going inside. They're just, so somewhere, if any of them are still living, there was some hippies playing volleyball on a Sunday in East Tennessee back in the 70s that heard some kind of monster in the woods. And it was indeed Bigfoot, but it was pre-recorded.
But pre-recorded Bigfoot. Brought to you by Steve Stockton and an
unnamed friend. I won't give him away. I don't know what he's up to these days, but it wasn't meant to troll anybody at first. It was we were just doing it to see if we could, get the attention of a Bigfoot. But instead, we decided if we could scare the neighbors, that's even better. That's a bonus.
Wow. I wonder how many people reported that as a true sighting. Maybe it'll be in one of these. I don't know. But these things started popping out like gems. I found one last night that I'm going to probably share with you next week. And these right now and last night I was doing the 70s documentaries that got it right. Maybe next Monday we'll do the ones that got it a little wonky because they weren't all good. But tonight, that's what I thought I would do because, like I said, Donnie kind of sparked something with thinking about everything being just discounted and why, I think, like I said, there's something that connects it all that unlocks this truth of how we're all connected, like think Avatar. Okay.
Yeah.
Something along those lines. And, then all the Bigfoot started coming up and monsters and things. And I'm thinking, I saw a lot in the 70s. We had a lot of, evidence then. Of course we did. Steve, we're always talking about the stuff that we already know. And I'm thinking, how does that differ from what we know now and what's changed in 50 years? So I thought we'd take a look. So you go ahead and do whatever. And I'm going to this one's short. And this one is called, wait a minute, I got my cheat sheet here.
And that's the most frightening part, that it really has been 50 years.
It has. I know.
I was going to show off some of my stickers that I got while I was in Northern California.
Oh, look at there.
And this hat, US 101, that's the Redwood Highway, goes up the coast, and it's also known as the Bigfoot Highway. And then Legend of Bigfoot was a little gift shop there in Garberville, California.
I like that.
It's either Mendocino County or Humboldt County. They kind of run together, but there's been a lot of sightings up there. There's Hide and Seek Champion, Humboldt County. And then I thought this one was particularly fitting.
I'll do that blue, see if I can get it on.
Mendocino County, get lost.
I love that. I love that. One of those small box trucks, man, trick it out. Redwood National Forest, that's nice too.
Yeah.
I like that.
And that's place, those trees are so huge and so thick. And there's places where literally, and especially like up around Shasta and that area, which is on a different part of California. But some of the pine forests are so thick, you couldn't even get between the trees. So
and I think that's what, in some of these, you're going to see that, and they're talking about, I like that.
US 101, the Bigfoot Highway.
They do some drone footage in here. Oh, cool.
Bigfoot, I believe. It's an ink pen.
We believe.
I love little gift shops, little
and
crappy doodads like that. It was awesome.
What's not to believe at this point? I mean, we've thrown all the answers out there. It's one of them. It's or a combination of them. But I just don't understand why 50 years we're just still there. Some people are still there. We're not.
Got my Mount Shasta T-shirt on.
Yeah, I got mine on too. It's probably gonna. I wore it. Sir Bodie
I
gave
can
me
see
this.
through you.
You can see
What was that
through me.
movie? Death Becomes Her or
Death
something
Becomes
like that?
Her. But it's a
Fantastic.
Bigfoot, and it's Nessie is on there, and UFOs and ghosts and everything. So it's apropos for tonight as well. So there you go, Sir Bodie.
Everywhere I went, any place that I could do it and get away with it, I left one of these.
Left one of those. I do that with crispy stickers. I've got them up at the Bubba Coos.
Somebody put them on the Golden Gate Bridge. I can't imagine who did.
Oh
who
my
would do such a
goodness!
thing.
Who would have done such a thing? This one, Steve, I'm going to start us off with. I call this. This one is Bigfoot in Sepia, and what I mean by that is, like I said, vintage. I mean, 50 some odd years that earns the right to be called way back.
Yeah.
And to look at these documentaries and what they had, I found it was gold. Not only that, but Steve just left this area. Where they are, Steve was just there. And to see it 50 years ago, this close from just leaving, that's going to be something, I think. And then a lot of these people that are in here, Steve, I know that you've heard of, we've heard talk about, but I don't know if you've ever heard them give their interviews or in-depth accounts of some of the things that they went through. So we've got a little old familiars and maybe some new ones, but this one is Bigfoot back to Sepia. It's about 12 minutes. We'll probably stop it halfway through and say, a few things and ask you what you think and all that good stuff. But you guys just enjoy, okay? Here we go. Wowzer. We can't do much better than that. I mean, 1974, 1972. It's like sepia gold, Steve.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, we've pretty much gone around the gauntlet with it, and I just wanted to present you guys with some other information. And, I mean, really, it comes down to what you believe, where you're at with it. To me, it just seems like it's more of a nature thing with me, I think, Steve. I think you too, probably being from Tennessee, and,
And then after talking to my friend who's a Modoc Indian that lives there near Shasta, he says they're people. They're an intelligent being. If anything, they're above us. They're not the missing link. If anything, we're the link. And that they've evolved beyond man, or they have talents and things that man either doesn't have or hadn't lost.
Yeah. And, I think too that maybe it's that people look at them, or, even if they look at them at all, some people know nothing, don't want to hear it, and then you get up to the point where we split off in different directions and people fight if UFOs and Bigfoots and all that. I think that, if we've learned anything over 50 years, it should be what are the connections? Is there anything similar? I mean, there's similarities with the Philadelphia experiment as it is with other things, and Atlantis, and just all these wonderful things, whatever it is that's your thing, and it's amazing to look at it.
Thanks, Chris, for the super chat.
Oh, thank you so much, Chris, for the super chat. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love you. We love you back, honey. Thank you so much. That really does help, and it all goes towards the show, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you, especially in these times, sincerely. So I think it's just, with me, it's always been a nature thing. As I've said many times, my grandmother telling me little things in the, in the woods about sassafras tea or peppermint, or, and she told me about the creatures and the things in the woods, and the respect to have for nature, and, you respect them. They can tell that. It has something to do with intent. We've both felt the void in the woods and backed over our tracks and left. I thought it was funny that Peter said, does anybody ever follow the tracks? And I'm sure they have. The multiple trackers. I've known some of the best trackers. I know you have too, Steve. It's just so much. It's wide. So why can't we just get together, put it all in a hump, and go, there's something going here. And I think we can learn something, because they must be kind, or at least leave us alone if we leave them alone, or we know more about it, know more about them. And I think we could learn from that and maybe just get back to nature. So to take us out of here tonight, Steve, is there anything you want to say to this wonderful chat?
I'd sent you that clip, but we ran out of time.
I'm sorry.
If you want to, well, they can go over and see it on the community tab on missing persons and mysteries. If you want to see Dave Paulides, I
can pull it up if you want me to.
You want to play us out with that? It's start about 3 minutes. I sent it to you.
It's on the Facebook. Okay, hang on. Let me see if I can get there. Watch me screw it up.
Go to about 3 minutes to start, and Dave Paulides talking to Bigfoot on a cell phone.
All right. Well, we got to have that.
I'll let you reach your own conclusions.
All right. Now I got it not messed up here. Okay. Oh my goodness. I don't read that language.
It's Russian or Slavic, whatever it is.
I don't think it. Can I download this, Steve? I'd have to download this to play it.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Like I said, if you want to see it, go over to Missing Persons and Mysteries on the community tab, and I think it's the most recent post, unless Bill's put up another one.
Absolutely, and I'll download, and for those of you that don't get to see it, we'll play it next Monday too. And I've got also Laura's I'm trying to get to play on this. She sent us over some good videos, and she wants us to take a look at next Monday, and Donnie as well, and we will get to those. It's been awesome tonight, guys, and I thought I'd share something with Steve and you at the same time. A real quick little 1 minute clip here that we're always talking, and I said, wake up, you old rattlesnake. And Steve will call me that too. And I thought I'd show the chat what we're talking about, Steve, because internestled, the spirits wanted it this way apparently, was this commercial. So it was meant to be, Steve. Here we go, real quick. I
want my Maypo.
There it comes.
I wonder who's sleeping in the living room. It's Uncle Ralph. Wake up, you old rattlesnake. You want to play this game?
Oh, Marky, no, it's much too early. Not till breakfast time.
What do you like for breakfast?
Go to your room and play, Marky.
Uncle Ralph.
Hmm?
I'm fixing you breakfast in bed. Do you like maple? It tastes like maple sugar candy.
No candy before breakfast. Not the humbug!
I want my maple.
Oh, says Marky, it's too early. Go play quietly.
Shall I play doggy?
Yes, that's a good idea. Play doggy. Marky, what do you want?
I want my maple.
All right, if I prepare your breakfast, do you promise to let me sleep?
I want my maple.
Ay, ay, ay. I am frito bandido. I like Fritos corn chips. I love them, I do. I want Fritos corn chips. I'll get them from you. Bring it.
I'm not going to play them all, but I thought I'd share that, man, because, you know, here's a simple way to look at it, folks. We don't know anything, and we know that commercial. That's how old we are. We don't have the answers, but we love the magic and the wonder, don't we, Steve?
Yep, indeed.
And it's up to you. You know?
Draw your own conclusions, do your own research.
Yep. I choose to believe
see
in
where
the
it takes
magic.
you. Charles Fort wrote, "One measures a circle, beginning anywhere. So pick a spot and take off."
Absolutely. And if you don't like that, peel yourself an onion, right, Steve? Big old paranormal onion. I love you, buddy. What you got going on this week?
Sandy and I are going to go live on 13 past midnight. Won't be tonight. It'll probably be tomorrow night. We're working on a book together, and
Nice.
we're going to have a cover reveal. So that's coming up on whatever night we decide to go live.
You guys are doing some great work out there. It's wonderful. It's an exciting time to be alive, an exciting time for all this. And, you know, like I said, all that stuff that we had in the 70s, we really don't have much more than that now, you know. And I think maybe if we just work on the, you know.
And that was one of the fun things about being in San Francisco. I remember all those cop shows that I watched in the 70s. Ironside.
Yeah. Streets of San Francisco.
Streets of San Francisco.
Everybody
I was up
parks
there
like
in
this.
those hill streets where you would always see them chasing the bad guy, and the cars would get airborne and stuff.
Yeah.
I drove up and down those streets.
Absolutely.
It was just, and the cable cars and everything. I actually asked somebody if there was a Rice-A-Roni museum. You know, Rice-A-Roni, the San
Francisco treat. Oh gosh,
but,
yes.
Couldn't find one if it exists. So.
Commercials work. I want Maypo.
See how long that sticks in your head?
I know.
I can remember like every commercial I've ever
Barry
heard.
Manilow, the king of the jingles. He did this thing back when I was in high school, and he did a whole medley of all the stuff he had done. He did Like a Good Neighbor, State Farm is There, I Am Stuck on Band-Aid, and he did Kentucky Fried Chicken. I mean, and I think he didn't do Oscar Mayer Wiener, but he did another one that was almost as annoying.
Another guy, the little short singer-songwriter, Paul
Sadaka.
No, this was the guy that was in Smokey the Bandit. Long blonde hair, big glasses.
Oh, no, not Schaefer. He's so annoying.
Paul something. I can't think of his name right now. He wrote a lot of jingles too.
I can't see the chat anymore.
He was in Smokey the Bandit, the little blonde-haired guy. He looked like a dwarf. Paul Williams.
There we go.
Yeah.
I know. Ding, 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 and Palmer.
Frequently on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. And he was a better songwriter than he was a singer, I think. But he did have some hits on his own.
He was funny.
But he wrote a lot of hits for a lot of different people.
He
wrote a lot of jingles, too.
Some of those talk shows were just something, weren't they, Steve? You get stuck watching them because your mom had them on or whatever.
Monica, I'll let you know. I'll send you a link to the show whenever we decide. We were going to go last night and just wasn't feeling it. Tonight, I'll be tired after this, so... Probably be tomorrow night, Wednesday night, something like that. But coming soon. We're not going to be coming back every night, but we're going to be coming back regularly on 13 past
Sounds good to me. Come back anywhere you want. Just come back. Don't be late for dinner.
Yep.
I love you, old rattlesnake.
I want my Maypo.
I want my Maypo too. And I believe in the magic. See you next Monday, and I'll see you guys next Sunday night, and we'll see what happens. Oh, wait, we got Zariah Askath coming on.
Yeah, is that next Sunday?
I think
Is
that's
that right?
next Sunday. You and me, and then we get it Monday. We get double
Zariah's
Steve.
got a wonderful show called Where Did the Road Go?
Where Did the
Sort
Road
of all
Go?
kinds of paranormal stuff. He's also got a great kind of metal, death metal, dark music type show called Last Exit for the Lost.
Yep.
He's on WVBR FM.
Yep.
In Ithaca, New York, and he's going to be. He also has a show on the podcast YouTube channel, but he's going to be our guest, and he's the reason that we know each other. So
he's the reason for
So y'all can come throw tomatoes at him.
Absolutely, absolutely. Big old hugs. Because, oh man, what a mind. I can't wait to listen to you guys talk. I think I might just sit back and, because you learn. Every time we do this, we learn something.
I want him and Donnie Cho to kind of go at each other and see what.
Oh, you heard that. You heard that. Well, I'm telling you what, I missed some of you guys tonight. Marade, I didn't get to say hi, and Pete and Ann, and, and Blue and Monica and everybody out there. If I missed you, no, I love you. And I'm hoping you got some smiles and some laughs tonight. But go check out those movies and at least do the time and the people and all those experiences. They're not here anymore. And put in their 30 years, our 50 years, your 50 years, everybody's time researching whatever it is, and just throw a little magic back in it. And try to get that spark that brought you here in the first place, because I think it's amazing.
I'll tell a little story real quick. The other night when I was on, I think I showed the toilet that was out in the middle of the field, the gold toilet.
Yes, you did.
Well, there's a story behind that. A guy had like some sort of shop there. And one day when he was changing out his plumbing, he put that across the road in the field so people would stop and ask questions about it and get them to come into this little gift shop that he had there. They said he was a very quirky, very wonderful individual. And on the wall, or the outside wall, I think, of his shop there across from the toilet, he had written, "Don't forget the magic." I'd like to leave you with those words. Don't forget the magic.
Don't forget the magic, peoples, because I'll tell you what, everybody's life could use a little glitter every once in a while.
Indeed.
Absolutely. And don't forget, all of you send your envelopes addressed to Bigfoot, Portland, Oregon, to Steve, and we're going to bring them to the post office and prove he exists. Missing persons and mysteries.
Come check out my channel. We got some good videos today.
Absolutely.
Have one that had disappeared that we've re-uploaded. It's about people that were lost in the woods, and the park rangers, whoever was looking for them, could hear them yelling, could hear them screaming, but they weren't able to find them. It's frightening. That one gave me chills.
Absolutely frightening.
And we're premiering a video every day. This week, we're going to try to do the whole thing this month. Try to have a video a day. So if we can keep up with it.
There you go.
And, love you too, Monica. Everybody take care. Be good to yourselves and each other. I'll see you a little farther on down the trail.
Good night, everybody.
One love, everybody. Thanks, Cisco.
Good night, darling.